Mono means only one or single, so monocotyledon. Cotyledons are what they call seed leaves. So this is like a tiny leaf that's inside of a seed. And there's monocotyledons, which have one, which are usually grasses and things like that. And there's also dicotyledons, which have two, which are a lot of your other plants. But monocotyledon, um, again, a term for grassy plants that have one seed leaf. Monophonic, phonic refers to sound. So monophonic is basically one channel of sound. So there's only one single audio channel instead of two, which is stereophonic. So monophonic. And then carbon monoxide, which basically is a chemical compound which has one carbon and one oxygen. So monoxide refers to the one oxygen. And even though there's just one carbon, we don't say monocarbon. You never start a compound name with the word mono. But if the second element there's only one of, we do say monoxide or mono, whatever it is. Morph means form. So morphology, ology is the study of, so it's the study of forms, like the study of different shapes of organisms and things like that. Metamorphosis basically is a change in form. And then amorphous means without form. So if something's amorphous, like a blob, it has no particular form. And then neo means new or recent. So Neolithic refers to the New Stone Age, which happened, started about 8,000 BC. So it's right before ancient Egypt. So the Neolithic. Neon refers to it's a noble gas. Really refers to like new element, because the noble gases were really hard to find because they didn't react with anything. So the noble gases were not found until much later. We knew about a lot of other chemical elements before we discovered the noble gases. Neoclassical is a return to, or a new classical, so like a return to classical art, like literature and painting, architecture, stuff like that. And then neonatal refers to new birth, so this is like a new baby, so newborns. So neonatal care, neonatal intensive care, the NICU. So basically neonatal refers to any kind of care for a newborn, which is usually considered like the first 28 days or so after they're born. The neuro means nerve. So neuron is a nerve cell. Neurologist is a doctor who specializes in the nervous system, particularly the spinal cord and the brain, but also any nerves in the body, really. And then a neurotoxin is a poison that affects the nervous system in some way. And then nod or node means a knot. So a node, if you have anywhere where things come together, like you can have a node in a computer network, or a node in some other kind of network, or like airports can kind of be considered nodes in the air travel network. Or on a plant, this is basically where a leaf would come off of the plant. So it looks like a little knot, or a bunch of things come together at this point. And then a nodule is a sort of knob-like or a knot-like growth, either in the body, if you're talking about human anatomy, it could be like a tumor, it could be a nodule. You hear about people having nodules like on their vocal cords or things like that. There's also nodules on plants. These are not like areas maybe on the roots. There's a lot of plants that have nitrogen-fixing bacteria in root nodules. So there's like little knots on the roots that hold bacteria that capture nitrogen from the atmosphere and make it available to plants. So nodule.